Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about a topic that I think you will relate to. It's about what to do when people wrongfully attack you on something that you know, one, is not your fault, and also two, you're the one who's right and they're the ones who are misinformed. So a lot of times this comes up in work and relationships. It will come up with your friends and your family, but you can apply these tools to any situation and make it work for you so that you change the conversation and start to become more passionate. Because ultimately, it's all about being compassionate and understanding that people don't make bad judgments because they want to make bad judgments. They make bad judgments because they are misinformed, they are confused, they don't have enough information. So the first thing to do when someone wrongfully puts something on you, wrongfully attacks you, is to not assume that they think the worst of you. A lot of times people are acting out with anger or anxiety or stress when they feel like they're doing all they can do in this situation, and they might not realize that you are capable of bringing other things to the table and more information. So the first thing is to not assume the worst in them. The goal is to drop your expectations that it's a personal attack on you, because even if it is a personal attack, if they had the right information, would it still be a personal attack on you? Probably not. So the second thing to do is to drop your own walls that you've built up to block people out. Because a lot of times problems don't have to be so big and they don't have to be so scary. It's just we're afraid to talk about them because we are afraid to talk about deeper issues that affect our psyche. And so what you can do is you can say, you know what, I know that you really want XYZ to happen in your company, and I'm working with you to help you achieve your goals. And I understand you're putting a lot of pressure on me to execute these things. And when they didn't get done, you're viewing them as my fault. But the reality is maybe the business isn't set up in the ideal way. And you're dealing with a lot of issues of people in the wrong job that doesn't match their skill set, or you're dealing with people who are not willing to work hard, or you have people who are just not interested in being there, and you have to look at the bigger picture. So invite the other person to step back and say, hey, we're working with all of these factors, and we want to be smart with our time and our energy, because time and energy are two things you can never get back. So as you start to take a step back and express the larger picture, you need to ask them what their concerns are and why they feel that way. And then when they give you your response, you can go back to them and say, hey, this is your concern. This is my answer to your primary concern or your secondary concern. And then you're able to deal with what they have going on inside of their minds. And then you can show up and say, this is what I have to offer you. This is what we can agree on, and we can come together and make something work for both of us. And this is, everything in life is a relationship. So if this is happening to you, I'm giving work as an example because it's so easy to just get the emotions out of it when you talk about something like work, whereas in a love relationship, you might be freaking out like to the 10th degree, and you're like, I have no idea what to do. So if you just remind yourself that you are not your emotions, and that emotions are relevant and they're valid, but they're not everything, then you also take things to a place of more ease, and you make it better for you to communicate with the people that you're surrounded with instead of just shutting everyone out and thinking that no one's on your side and that no one is there to support you. Because in reality, if you start having real conversations with people and you start developing genuine relationships, you'll find that it's very rare to see people not support you when you are there for them and you communicate with them. And even if they don't support you, sometimes you need to just call it out and communicate, and that's part of it as well. So the last thing is that when you're in these situations where you feel people are attacking you, you need to also brainstorm other options and look around and say, do I need to surround myself with these people after having conversations and having them not go in a positive direction? Am I willing to see the fault within myself? Am I willing to give them other options when I feel responsible but can't show up? And then also, when is it time for you to detach? A lot of people stay in toxic dynamics because they don't know how to get out of them, or they don't realize that they have a choice and that they don't have to stay within those toxic dynamics. So things that I like to do on a metaphysical level to get myself away from situations where people are lashing out and that's just their lifestyle and their way of being is that I like to surround myself with crystals. I used to carry them in my bag and put them in my pockets, but honestly, I would just lose them all when I would do that. So now I just purely stick to jewelry. So a great piece of jewelry for you to wear is onyx. I'm wearing an onyx ring. And basically what onyx does is if anyone is sending you negative energy, it basically blocks it. So it's best to have the onyx on or near your body so that when you show up to a room, you yourself have a vibration, you have an aura, you have an energy to you. And then when you add in jewelry that has metaphysical properties, then that adds and reacts with your own aura. So as I'm wearing this ring, it's putting up a shield of some sorts in my energetic body. And if you wear enough, it will actually change the way your aura shows up in a room. So I invite you to test out these things, to try it in your own life. Comment below, let me know how it works, and stay tuned for more episodes on jewelry and what to wear for different situations in your life. So I'm recommending in this situation onyx, black obsidian, anything that supports your sacral chakra and your solar plexus. I really like citrine because it adds an element of light and fun and joy. But you'll find what works for you. So comment below and we'll talk soon. Bye.